My heart was pounding. I'll tell you that much. 3 cops walking up to my front door like they had a script, and I was just playing my part. Months of HOA drama, petty threats, little games. None of that prepared me for the moment they finally showed up. Uniforms crisp, faces stone cold. And you want to know the truth? Something fell off right away. Not the usual small-town nonsense. This was the kind of setup where you realize you're about to walk into a trap, and the folks you trusted? Turns out they'd been lying the whole time. If you've ever wondered how far people will go to settle a score, stick around, because this gets wild. Look, I never asked for any of this. All I wanted was to run my woodworking shop on my grandfather's old claim, tucked away in the Colorado pines. Not a fancy place, but it's mine, protected by federal law so tight you'd think nothing could touch me. Grandpa always said, "Feds trump locals, every single time." And after he passed, he made sure I knew exactly what those papers meant. But apparently, nobody told Monica Brooks. Monica? Well, she's the self-appointed queen of Pine Ridge. HOA president, ex-lawyer, early 50s, drives a white Mercedes and has that smile that makes you wonder if she's planning your funeral or just picturing it. She's got everyone convinced she's saving property values when really, she just likes power. She knew enough law to be dangerous, not enough to respect a federal claim. And that's where this train wreck starts. See, for years back, I was working as a military police contractor, doing federal security work, using my MP experience for something that mattered. During one of my routine surveys, I spotted Monica's brand new deck. Beautiful, really. Except she'd built 3 feet onto federal land, 0 permits. I'm not the type to hunt trouble, but when you see a violation on federal land, you're not really given much of a choice. I filed the report, did it by the book, figured she'd get a fine, maybe have to move it, and life would go on. But the government? They don't play. Monica got slammed with a $75,000 fine, ordered to tear it down, and suddenly her whole life started falling apart. Divorce, bar association sniffing around, legal practice ruined inside 6 months. And in her mind, it was all my fault. Never mind she did it. I was the villain who destroyed her little kingdom. Fast forward. She loses her home, winds up renting 3 miles from my cabin, still licking her wounds and looking for someone to blame. That's when the harassment started. First, little stuff, complaints about my tools, my truck, rumors about me being unstable. But the thing is, her HOA badge meant nothing on federal land, and that just drove her crazy. So she started talking, spinning stories about the dangerous veteran down the road. She had folks picturing me as a threat, building a case for why the community should push me out for their own safety. I wish I could say I laughed it off. My wife, Emma, who's a nurse, kept telling me, "Ignore her, she's just bitter." But you can't really ignore someone when they're actively poisoning your reputation in a small town. I couldn't just leave. This was family land, protected in ways most people can't imagine. Grandpa chose it for exactly that reason. Then one evening, I catch Monica sitting in her car, binoculars out, talking on the phone. She's plotting, that much is obvious, but I had no idea just how deep she was willing to go. 3 weeks later, I'm minding my business in the workshop when a so-called EPA inspector shows up, clipboard and all, talking about chemical violations. He knows way too much about my setup, brands I use, my process, even which side of the shop I work on. My alarm bells are ringing, so I ask for credentials. The guy gets twitchy, can't produce real ID, and suddenly I realize he's faking it. That's when Adam Torres, my old MP buddy turned FBI liaison, pulls in like a one-man cavalry. Adam clocks the fake immediately, spots the bogus badge, calls out the vehicle, takes photos, you name it. Turns out, Emma had called Adam, worried about Monica's campaign. Adam explains impersonation is getting more common and warns me, "Your land is a shield, but it's also a target." It felt like someone finally had my back. But as the pressure ramped up, Monica changed tactics. She started going door to door, telling neighbors I was a PTSD time bomb, making my woodworking shop sound like a front for weapons dealing. She had stats, handouts, the whole 9 yards. Families started avoiding me, kids crossed the street. It was psychological warfare, plain and simple. Emma was furious. She knew Monica was playing on fears about veterans and mental health. We met with Adam, who suggested turning the tables. Use a legit FBI anti-impersonation training exercise on my property. The real deal. Agents everywhere, visible authority, showing the community I was trusted by law enforcement. Adam set it up, introduced us to Agent Rachel Stone, a pro through and through. The plan was simple. Let the feds run their drills, show the community I was cooperating, not hiding. It felt like the tide was turning. But even as I started to breathe easy, little things kept nagging me. Adam always knew when Monica would strike next, almost like he had inside info. Emma said federal agents just had ways of monitoring things, but I couldn't shake the feeling something wasn't right. The morning of the training exercise, I woke up with a knot in my stomach. Adam arrives with Agent Stone and a whole squad. They brief me. If anyone approaches as law enforcement, signal them and let the agents handle it. Around 2 in the afternoon, 3 men in police uniforms show up, claim they have a warrant, handcuffs ready. For a second, I wonder if it's real, but the details are off, just enough that I know they're fakes, the actors Adam warned me about. Except this time, no agents step in. Suddenly, Agent Rachel is shouting, guns are drawn, and I'm face down on my own porch in cuffs. Not part of the plan, at least not the plan I'd been told. I look for Adam, expecting him to step up and explain. But he just stands there, cool as ice, talking into his radio. Phase 1 complete. Target is down and contained. Are you ready for Phase 2? And I realize he's not talking to the FBI. He's talking to someone else. That's when the world flips. Turns out, Adam's been selling me out for months. My best friend, my brother, feeding Monica everything she needs. My routines, my mental health records, security vulnerabilities, all of it. Emma storms in, evidence in hand, bank records, audio files, photos of Adam and Monica meeting in Denver. She's been digging, and now it all pours out. Adam, who saved my life more than once, who was best man at my wedding, has been pocketing thousands to sabotage me. Agent Rachel snaps to attention, arrests Adam on the spot. Federal corruption, conspiracy, all of it. The fake cops, just actors, realize they've been used. Monica? She's picked up next, calm as you please, thinking her lawyer tricks will save her. But her meticulous records are her undoing. Payments, contracts, psychological profiles on me and half the neighborhood. Federal prosecutors go after them hard. Monica gets 8 years, $500,000 in restitution, banned for life from property law. Adam, the guy I trusted with my life, gets 10, stripped of everything. And the actors? They serve time, too, because the law doesn't play when it comes to impersonating agents. But here's where it gets crazier. Legal consulting services, the shell company, wasn't just for me. It was a criminal enterprise hitting landowners all over the Mountain West, using the same playbook. The feds change their protocols. My case becomes required training. I get compensation, use it to build my shop and fund a defense network for others targeted like me. My story goes national. A year later, Adam writes from prison. 4 pages of excuses, blaming addiction, Monica, everything but himself. I read it once, then burn it. Emma and I still live on the claim, federal protection tighter than ever. Most neighbors apologized, business booms. Agent Rachel visits sometimes, keeping tabs. But some nights, I sit on the porch, look at the pines, and think, yeah, Grandpa would be proud. The law doesn't always move fast, but when it finally rolls, it flattens anything in its way. If you've ever trusted the wrong person, you know that pain. If you've ever had to stand up to a bully, you know that fear. And if you've ever come out the other side, yeah, you know what I mean. So let me ask you, where do you draw the line between justice and revenge? When someone betrays you, do you forgive? Or do you fight like hell to make sure it never happens again? Drop your thoughts below, tell me where you're watching from, and let's talk about what real justice looks like in your world.